Welcome to the Santos Dumont English Assessment. My name is Lisa. Please tell me your full name.
My name is Michael Williams.
Alright, Michael, nice to meet you. Please sign here the same way you signed your ID.
Okay.
Do you have any electronic devices with you?
No, I don't.
Okay, shall we start?
Yes, let's go.
Part 1. Aviation Topics. In this part, you will answer some questions related to aviation. Question 1. When do pilots need to perform an emergency landing?
Well, there are several possibilities, but I think they commonly need to do an emergency landing after engine failures. Other reasons could be electrical failure, sick passenger, or in the worst-case scenario, fire on board.
Question 2. How was your flight training experience?
I had a stunning flight training experience. Everything was much better than I expected, even my solo flight. Perhaps, what I liked the most was training emergency situations, probably due to additional adrenaline.
Question 3. In your opinion, what will aviation be like in the future?
Aviation has been growing slowly in recent years, therefore, I don't think it will have significant changes in the next 10 years. Probably more airports will be able to handle precision approaches, such as ILS.
Thank you. This is the end of part 1. Let's move on to the second part of the test. Please put the headset on. Let's check the volume.
Santos Dumont English Assessment. This is a sound check. Please confirm to the examiner if the volume is okay and you can hear the recording loud and clear.
I can hear it loud and clear.
Part 2. Interacting as a pilot. In this part, you will interact with the air traffic control in 5 different situations. You may ask the controller to say again once. After listening to the controller, you should interact as the pilot. All information is important. You may take notes if you wish. You are the pilot of a twin-engined aircraft. Your call sign is ANAC 123. Are the instructions clear?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so let's start. Situation number 1. You have just taken off from Miami Airport. Listen to Miami Tower and read back.
ANAC 123, maintain runway heading, climb to 7,000 feet, squawk 4437. Contact Miami departure on frequency 122.4.
Maintain runway heading, climb to 7,000 feet, squawk 4437. Contact Miami departure on frequency 122.4, ANAC 123.
Now, your main altimeter and the standby one are showing different indications, and you have decided to maintain current altitude. Call Miami departure to report the situation and say your intentions.
Miami departure, ANAC 123. There are different indications between my main altimeter and the standby one, therefore, I've decided to maintain current altitude in order to check our systems.
ANAC 123. Maintain present altitude. There is no traffic in this sector. Confirm you have unreliable altimeter indications.
Affirm, I have unreliable altimeter indications. Maintain present altitude. No traffic in this sector, ANAC 123.
What did the controller say?
The controller told me to maintain my present altitude, informed me that there was no traffic in the sector. In addition, he asked me to confirm if I had unreliable altimeter indications.
Thank you. This is the end of situation number 1. Now, situation number 2. You are going to land at Malpensa Airport in Milan. Listen to Milan Center and read back.
ANAC 123, descent flight level 100. Pasadena intersection above flight level 180. When reaching flight level 100, call Milan radar on frequency 126.3.
Descend to flight level 100. Pasadena intersection above flight level 180. When reaching flight level 100, call Milan radar on frequency 126.3, ANAC 123.
Now, when reaching flight level 100, you notice that your first officer is unconscious. Call Milan radar to report the situation and say your intentions.
Milan radar, ANAC 123, my first officer just passed out, I request vectors to land at the nearest airport and medical assistance upon landing.
ANAC 123, Milan radar. Confirm your captain is incapacitated. Proceed direct to Saronno VOR and descend to 3000 feet.
Negative, my first officer is incapacitated. Proceed direct to Saronno VOR and descend to 3000 feet, ANAC 123.
What did the controller say?
The controller asked me to confirm if my captain was incapacitated. Furthermore, he told me to proceed direct to Saronno VOR and descend to 3000 feet.
Thank you. This is the end of situation number 2. Now, situation number 3. You are going to land at Frankfurt Airport. Listen to Frankfurt Center and read back.
ANAC 123, traffic is overtaken. Descend to flight level 290.
Traffic overtaken. Descend to flight level 290, ANAC 123.
Imagine you have just experienced a rapid decompression. Call Frankfurt Center to report the situation and say your intentions.
Frankfurt Center, ANAC 123, Mayday Mayday Mayday, I've just had a rapid decompression. I'm descending to flight level 100 to maintain normal oxygen levels.
ANAC 123, descend to flight level 090. I understand you had a loss of hydraulic pressure. Confirm.
Negative, we've had a rapid decompression, not a loss of hydraulic pressure. I'm descending to flight level 090, ANAC 123.
What did the controller say?
The controller told me to descend to flight level 090. In addition, he asked me to confirm if I had a loss of hydraulic pressure.
Thank you. This is the end of situation number 3. Now, situation number 4. You have just departed from Ezeiza Airport in Buenos Aires. Listen to Ezeiza Tower and read back.
ANAC 123, maintain runway heading. Climb to flight level 070. Expedite climb. Call Buenos Aires departure on frequency 125.60.
Maintain runway heading, climb to flight level 070, expedite climb, call Buenos Aires departure on frequency 125.60, ANAC 123.
Now, when passing 3,000 feet, you see the situation on your weather radar and you decide to deviate to the right. Call Buenos Aires departure and say your intentions.
Buenos Aires departure, ANAC 123, we need to deviate approximately 10 degrees to the right due to bad weather.
ANAC 123, increase rate of climb until passing flight level 060. Confirm you need to deviate to the right due to bad weather.
Affirm, we need to deviate to the right due to bad weather. Increase rate of climb until passing flight level 060, ANAC 123.
What did the controller say?
The controller told me to increase my rate of climb until passing flight level 060, and also, she asked me to confirm if I needed to deviate to the right due to bad weather.
Thank you. This is the end of situation number 4. Now, situation number 5. You are going to take off from Santos Dumont Airport. Listen to Santos Dumont clearance and read back.
ANAC 123, expect startup at 35 and runway 20 left. You are cleared to Confines Airport via Upper Zulu 4 flight level 360. Pumzo 1 Charlie departure ISRIN transition. Squawk 4751, read back.
Expect start up at 35 and runway 20 left. Cleared to Confines Airport via Upper Zulu 4, flight level 360, Pumzo 1 Charlie departure, ISRIN transition. Squawk 4751, ANAC 123.
Now, after takeoff, this happens to you. Because of this situation, you have decided to divert to Gallio Airport. Call Rio approach, explain the situation and say your intentions.
Rio approach, ANAC 123. We've hit a flock of birds and we may have damaged our engines. I request diversion to Gallio Airport.
Anaki 123, I'll give you priority to land at Santos Dumont Airport. Turn right, heading 250. Expect visual approach, runway 20 left.
Negative, I requested to divert to Gallio Airport, ANAC 123.
What did the controller say?
The controller gave me priority to land at Santos Dumont Airport, told me to turn right heading 250, and also to expect visual approach runway 20 left.
Thank you. This is the end of part 2. Let's move on to the third part of the test. Part 3. Unexpected situations. In this part of the test, you will listen to 3 different communications between pilots and air traffic controllers. The recordings will be played twice. There is a 5-second pause before the recording is repeated. After listening to the recording, you should tell me everything that the pilot and the controller said. I will then ask you a question. At the end of part 3, I will ask you to compare the 3 situations, so please take notes. All information is important. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't.
Listen to situation number 1.
Miami Center, American 2493. We are now experiencing severe turbulence at flight level 300. A passenger is injured. Request return to Miami.
American 2493, roger. Turn right heading 115 and descend to flight level 240. Medical assistance will be provided upon arrival.
Miami Center, American 2493. We are now experiencing severe turbulence at flight level 300. A passenger is injured. Request return to Miami.
American 2493, roger. Turn right heading 115 and descend to flight level 240. Medical assistance will be provided upon arrival.
The pilot said they were experiencing severe turbulence at flight level 300, therefore, a passenger was injured and he requested to return to Miami. The controller told him to turn right heading 15 and to descend to flight level 240. Also, he informed that medical assistance would be provided when they arrived.
How can a pilot avoid a bad weather situation when overflying the ocean?
It's easy to avoid bad weather when overflying the ocean if you check the weather forecast prior to flying and keep your eyes peeled and focused on the weather radar.
Listen to situation number 2.
Dubai Control, Emirates 075. I had a tail strike during takeoff. We need to climb to the minimum safe altitude in order to check our systems before returning.
Emirates 075, roger. Climb to 4,000 feet. Maintain radio 120. Call back for vectors to return.
Dubai Control, Emirates 075. I had a tail strike during takeoff. We need to climb to the minimum safe altitude in order to check our systems before returning.
Emirates 075, roger. Climb to 4,000 feet. Maintain radio 120. Call back for vectors to return.
The pilot informed a tail strike during takeoff, and as a result they needed to climb to the minimum safe altitude in order to check their systems before returning. The controller told them to climb to 4,000 feet to maintain radial 120 and to call back for vectors to return.
What kind of emergency or abnormal situations may a pilot experience during takeoff roll?
Actually, there are many kinds of emergency or abnormal situations that may take place during takeoff roll, such as tail strikes, tire blowouts and bird strikes.
Listen to situation number 3.
Mayday, 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 Dubai departure. Sky Dubai 523. We lost thrust in both engines. We'll try to return to Dubai, but we might need to ditch.
Sky Dubai 523, roger. Turn left heading 230.
Expect to land on runway 30 right.
Mayday, 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 Dubai departure. Sky Dubai 523, we lost thrust in both engines. We'll try to return to Dubai, but we might need to ditch.
Sky Dubai 523, roger. Turn left heading 230. Expect to land on runway 30 right.
The pilot informed an emergency situation, which was a loss of thrust in both engines. They would try to return to Dubai, but they might need to ditch. The controller told them to turn left heading 230 and also to expect to land on runway 30 right.
What may happen to a twin-engined aircraft if both engines fail in flight?
This is one of the most difficult situations to deal with because there is nothing left to do but a forced landing on the nearest airport, otherwise, it could result in a fatal crash.
Thank you. You may remove the headset now. Now, after listening to these three situations, how would you compare them? Which one do you think is the most difficult to deal with, and why? You may want to compare them in terms of severity, possible solutions, or ways of prevention.
In my opinion, the first situation is the easiest to deal with because you can avoid severe turbulence by asking for vectors or looking at your weather radar. The second situation is a little bit harder. It depends on how much the aircraft was damaged, although in most cases it just dents the fuselage. The last situation is the worst situation to deal with because if there is no safe place to land the aircraft, the chances of a catastrophe are huge.
Thank you. This is the end of part 3. Let's now move on to the last part of the test. Part 4. Picture description and discussion. In this part of the test, you will tell me what you can see in this picture and what you think is happening in it. After that, I will ask you some questions. Look at the picture carefully. You may take a few moments to think before you start talking. Please describe this picture to me.
This picture shows a part of a big aircraft with a burst tire. I can tell that it stopped on a taxiway because in the background I can see the taxiway lights. There are 3 people, probably from the maintenance, checking what's happened and perhaps looking for other damages. Behind them, there is a grassy area around the edge of the taxiway.
What do you think was happening before this picture was taken?
Before this picture was taken, I think this aircraft was landing, then the pilot needed to apply brakes heavily to avoid a runway excursion.
What do you think will happen next?
Next, I think this aircraft will be moved to a maintenance hangar in order to replace the burst tire and to look for other damages.
How dangerous can a burst tire be during landings or takeoffs?
A tire blowout can be very dangerous during landings and takeoffs. An aircraft may skid off and collide with another aircraft on a taxiway.
How are traffic operations at airports affected when there is a damaged aircraft obstructing the runway?
A single aircraft can cause significant flight delays and cancellations. Besides that, the traffic at surrounding airports will increase rapidly.
Now, I am going to read a statement to you, and then you will have to tell me to what extent you agree or disagree with it. Anomalies during takeoff roll, such as an underinflated tire, might cause instability and, therefore, a takeoff rejection.
I thoroughly agree with this statement. As I said before, a burst tire can not only cause takeoff rejections, but also aircraft collisions, and a collision between 2 aircraft can cause hundreds of deaths.
Okay, thank you. So this is the end of the test. Thank you very much for coming.